Hello class, this is Chris. Just wanted to cover some things that are in Module 12. Module 12 for the most part remains the same. You're going to see Exam 3, which is formatted exactly the same like other modules in it. You're going to go in there and take it. But you also, if you look at Module 12, you're going to see some things that are new. The first things that are new is that there's going to be what's called a communication self-assessment, and there's also a group analysis paper guideline or essay guideline. I forgot what I called it. And so those things you're going to need to check out. Nothing's due other than the exam this week, so that's all. The week that ends on November 15th. So that's all you really have to worry about. But what you want to do is you want to go in there and look at the upcoming things, and that's going to be the assignment guidelines for the essay. First thing you're going to do is download the communication inventory, communication style inventory file. It's a PDF file, and you want to print 2 of them for a reason. The reason why you want to print 2 of them is because you're going to select a group, and it's going to be a group that you belong to. It could be a church group, could be a mountain biking group, it could be a Weight Watchers group, whatever it is. Pick whichever group you want to use, and find another participant in that group that you're in, and you're going to fill out one survey for yourself, and you're going to give the partner, the person you pick, a copy of the same survey, and they're going to pick them, and then you're going to kind of compare results to see where you lie out on your communication style survey. And so when you download the communication style survey, it actually looks like this, okay? And you can see on the first one I didn't do it quite right. I answered the question right because it's just my opinion of what's true to me, but I went ahead and circled the entire thing, and you don't want to do that. You actually want to just circle the numbers, okay? Because that's going to help you later on as you complete the assignment. Once you've completed it, I think it's 2 pages, you're going to tally up. You're going to go ahead and tally up your scores. Now, I spent a long time trying to figure out how to tally up the scores right. I had to read the directions a couple times because I don't know if it was written very good. But I just want to save you the hassle and kind of show you how to write it so that you can go right in and take care of it. So here's what you do. Once you circled out all the survey questions, and I'll say this, the survey questions are paired in 2, right? And so what that means is that there's going to be 2, and both of them are going to have numbers on them. And you're going to select out of that pair the response that best describes you. Don't overthink it. Just answer it the best you can and move on to the next pair. Then, once you're done doing the survey, here's how you score it. There's another page on here that kind of gives you 4 different styles. Style 1 is for people who are action-oriented. Style 2 are for people who are process-oriented. Style 3 is for people, for folks who have more people-style communication style, and the last one is for people who have more idea-focused communication style. And you can kind of see where I fell in on it. So what you do is each line has a series of numbers, right? And whatever you circled, see how many of the ones that you circle are on each line. So on the action line, for my survey, I only got 2 that wound up on that line. And so I question number 13 and question number I think that's 57 wound up on a line onto the process. So I only got 2 on process. And then you can see, or I'm sorry, I only got 2 on action. And then on process I scored 13. On people I scored 17, and on idea I scored 8. Then what happens is it gives you a breakdown right below it of kind of what your scores say about you. And so for me, let's see, I didn't score very high on action, but I did score high on process. So that means that my communication style is a little bit more systematic, logical, factual, verbose, unemotional. I can kind of see that. Cautious and patient. And then under people, which I scored a 17 predominantly, more spontaneous, empathetic, warm, subjective, emotional, perceptive, and sensitive. So I'm curious where you guys are going to score. And then the person you selected in your group, where they're going to score. And I want you to kind of talk about it, have a conversation with them, and compare communication styles. After that, you're going to plot where you fit in. Okay, so you can see on the action one, I only scored a 2, so it didn't go very high. On the idea, I scored an 8, and on the people, I scored I think a 17, and on process, I scored a 13. So my communication, where it centers around the most, is it centers around the most on the process and people. And I think that's pretty consistent with me. I really make a point to have processes in place, especially for my students to follow step by step on how to do assignments. I'm really big on that. But I'm also a people person too, so I think that's pretty consistent with me. I wonder where you're going to fit in. And then what you can read in the last part of it is it tells you how to cope with people of different communication styles. So let's say you're more of a process-oriented person. Well, what if your friend is more of an action-oriented person? How do you get along with them? And it says, well, if you're dealing with a person who's action-oriented, focus on results first. State your best recommendation. Do not offer any alternatives because they don't want to waste time on that. Be as brief as possible. Emphasize the practicality of your ideas and use visual aids. So that's kind of how you deal with people who are more action-oriented. If you're people-oriented like me, you want to allow for small talk. Just don't cut the business. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Oh, thank you. I'm doing fine. Stress the relationship between you and your proposal and the people concerned. Show how the idea worked well in the past. Indicate support from well-respected people and use informal writing style. So talk to you about how to deal with people from each group. So I think that would be interesting for you and the person from your group to talk about. After you've done the survey, the communication style inventory, go ahead and go back to the assignment guidelines, read through those, and there's a series of questions I ask you. And then you're just going to type up a Word document and talk about it in essay style. That's a little different from the discussion posts that we've done. Some of you guys have been more writing an essay style for the discussion post, and that's great. Some of y'all are a little bit more bullet point, just give just a few answers and just move to the next point. Okay, so in this one, you're not going to do that. You're going to do more of an essay style, which means it's going to have consistent flowing ideas, complete sentence structure, and 600 words is the minimum, which is not that much. And I'm really more concerned with quality over quantity. So I just want to see that you're unpacking your ideas and that you're really thinking through this assignment. And like I said, Microsoft Word. And I think it's going to be module, I think week 13. It's due November, it's going to be due November 22nd. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, it's Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And once you type it up in the Word document, go into that module, and it's going to have a place where it's going to say group analysis project or paper. Click on that in the module, and then what you're going to see is it's going to have a blue part where you can go ahead and say file upload, and you're going to upload the file onto Canvas, and make sure you get that in by the November 22nd. And after that, guys, it's Thanksgiving break, so have a good time with your family. Let me pull up my calendar here. So once you submit your paper on the 22nd, that week is yours. Have fun, relax, recover, and then check back on Canvas on the 30th, and we'll go from there, okay? And we'll pick up where we left off. If you have any questions about this assignment and want to clarify anything, shoot me a message in Canvas. I'll be happy to answer any question that you have. Other than that, have a great week. Good luck on your test. Make sure that you're doing your study guide, because I think that's really going to help you. And go ahead and take that. It's due November 15th. So we'll talk soon. Have a great week. Bye.